The dude is riding a friggin' toad! Hi, I'm Paul, I'm your host from the First Rule of Nerd Club. Today's deck tech is Tatsunari Toad Rider. Let's get into it. Let's see what Tatsunari's Toad Rider's abilities. So he is 2 and 1 swamp. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, if you don't control a creature named Kimi, create Kimi, a legendary 3/3 black and green frog creature token with whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Well, that's an awesome ability. You get that frog out, and all you've got to do is keep casting enchantments, and you'll be doing everyone for 1 damage each turn. Next ability, I think, is the key to obviously how I want to build the deck. So it is 1, either a forest or a island. It says this and target frog you control can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with flying or reach. That makes me just want to build a massive human ninja Tatsuni Toad Rider. So then, and also a massive like Kimi as well, to be fair. I'll try and get them both as big as possible so I can swing out and maybe do either 21 commander damage or do a lot of damage. So let's get into it. As always, we start off with the win cons. What we want to do is obviously start playing enchantments. So if we have Utopia, the twice favoured. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. That creature gains flying until end of turn. Obviously the flying is pretty decent, but it's more than 1/1 counters on target creature. Every time we bring an enchantment out and the deck is packed full of enchantments, we put that on obviously the Toad Rider. Or we can do Generous Visitor. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Same again, if we're putting them on the Kimi or the Toad Rider, they're just going to get massive. Not just that, you've got things like Ancestral Mask, which basically enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each other enchantment on the battlefield. That is everywhere, on everyone's board, on ours, on theirs, so it can end up being a massive toad. Then basically what you do is you play the second ability, make them unblockable, and then you swing at them and basically hopefully do 21 commander damage or get a crap load of tons with the frog. Now if people don't want you to do that, and if they're not letting you do that, then win con number 2 is always good. What you want to do is have Curiosity on this Triskelion. I butcher names so badly. Basically Curiosity, whenever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. So when that's on this, I'm not even going to pronounce it again, it comes into the battlefield with 3 1/1 counters on it. Now if you remove a 1/1 counter on it, it deals 1 damage to any target. So obviously what you want to do is have the wizard class at level 3. So then whenever you draw a card, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. So that keeps putting the 1/1 counters back on this Triskelion. So then every time you remove one, you basically do 1 damage, which then makes this Curiosity trigger, which then obviously you'll draw a card because it is dealt damage to an opponent. And then that just constantly pings everyone for 1 damage, and hey presto, there you go, you've then won. Now, this is like a win con slash like infinite mana. So obviously if you get infinite mana, you're more likely to get all the cards that you want out. So I put it down as a win con, it's not necessarily a win con, and once again this deck has only got 2 in. With my other decks I've got far more. I need to start putting more win cons in, I think. These last 2 have been a bit pitiful on the win cons. What you do is you attach this Crab Umbria to this Kami of Whispered Hopes. So if one or more 1/1 counters to be put on a permanent, you would put that many +1/+1 counters I'll put on that permanent instead. Great, so when we're doing that, like with the other 2 on the other win con, we're also putting an extra +1/+1, but it's not that we want the second ability, add X mana of any 1 colour where X is Kami of Whispered Hope's power. Now we're on to cards that fit into the theme of the deck. Obviously we want to be playing loads of enchantments, so then obviously we can have Kimi out, which is great, but every time we play an enchantment it does 1 damage to basically every opponent. So obviously the more enchantments we bring out, the more damage we can do. But at the same time we also want the enchantments to do benefits to us and help us with our gameplay. So you've got things like this, Herald of the Pantheon. So enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So if you're casting say 3 enchantments, that's 3 mana taken off. that turn. It is just an amazing card. And then whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life. Well, even better. Then there's things like this Blight Caster. So whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may have target creature get -2/-2 until end of turn. So it's a great little help. What we're doing is bringing out an enchantment, which obviously benefits us, but it's also getting rid of things on other people's boards. If you want to see the full deck list, it is in the description below. Obviously, if you're liking what you see so far as well, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's keep going. Then we've got cheap enchantments like this. Rancor. Basically, it gives our creatures +2 and has trample. When Rancor is put into graveyard from the battlefield under your return Rancor to the owner's hand, which is great. That just keeps cycling around if it ever gets, our creature ever gets killed, basically. All these cheap little enchantments are great. They're doing 1 damage. They're helping us as well as doing other things like the Shimmering Wings. Enchanted creature has flying. Well, if they're unblockable, they don't really need flying, but it's only 1 mana and it helps do 1 damage to other people. This is a great enchantment. It's called Blessing of our Leeches. So basically what we're trying to do is keeping our commander about. We don't want him to obviously get killed. So you put this on the creature. It says you may play Blessing of Leeches at any time. You could play an instant, which is great. So if everyone tries to do a board wipe or someone tries to target remove it, it's fine because you play instant speed. At the beginning of your keep, you lose 1 life. But yeah, what's 1 life? You got 40 to play with. It doesn't matter. And if you play 0 mana, regenerate enchanted creature. So you keep regenerating your commander, which is great, fantastic. This is a great one as well, Sanctum Weaver, another enchanted creature. So as you see, we're playing loads of enchantments. We want to do as much damage as we can, as well as helping ourselves out. You tap it, you add X mana of any 1 colour, where X is the number of enchantments you control. Well, that's going to hopefully be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be a crap ton of mana. And then once we get a bit of our, thing moving along and getting enchantments out, we also want things like this on our commander, like Nettle Cyst, I think it's called. Living Weapon. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact or enchantment you control. Well, that's great. What you do is put that on your commander and it gives it +1/+1. Or you can put things like this, Helm of the Gods. A quick creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. Great. That's only 1 mana and 1 to attach, which is even better. And then you've got Ancestral Mask. As I say, this was in the win con. You attach that, it gets +2/+2 for each other enchantment on the battlefield. So if we can get our commander to at least 21, if we can get that through with the unblockable, it's just going to be amazing. We are going to be able to smash their faces pretty damn easily. If you like the deck tech, then let's hop to it and hit that like button, hit the subscribe. But if this hasn't wet your whistle, then watch this deck tech next.